Okay, this week's training video is on rescheduling your clients behind the chair. I think rescheduling and this training is one of the most important trainings that will actually set you up for success with your career. I always say it's the little everyday small things that create a huge, big, successful picture. So, rescheduling is one of the most important things that's going to keep your schedule full, it's going to keep you busy. So, rescheduling, why it will make or break your career in your salon. It's not the front desk's responsibility to reschedule your clients. You guys have to remember there are so many responsibilities that the front desk's taking care of. They're grabbing people's coats, sometimes they're grabbing drinks, they're answering the phones, they're checking out clients. So, taking some of that pressure and being a team player off of the front desk is super crucial to an amazing guest experience. Most front desk staff members do not do hair, although some of them can memorize what goes into an actual time slot for a service. Your front desk isn't going to know what exactly goes into each client's appointment like you do. Every single client takes a different amount of time. Every single client's guest experience is different. So to actually take the time to reschedule your own guest is going to make a better career for you and a better experience for that guest. So why leave your clients' next experience to the front desk when if you just do it yourself, you can actually create a better experience for them and for you? Why is rescheduling so important? The client will most importantly come back when they need to. So it is a proven fact that if clients leave before rescheduling the salon, they are more likely to come back in twice the amount of time than they would have if they actually reschedule before they leave the salon. So an example of that is if you know your client needs to come back in 6 weeks, if they don't reschedule before they leave, they'll actually come back more closer to 12 to 13. So actually making sure that they reschedule, it's going to make sure that they come in when they need to so their hair is looking fresh. And it also will make sure that you are making the most of each guest. So if we reschedule each client when it is the appropriate time, if you actually figure out what the funds are, it actually ends up being one extra visit per year. So that can be anywhere from $100 to $250 per guest. So if you multiply that by the amount of guests you actually have, that's an obscene amount of money. So making sure that clients come back, most importantly, so their hair looks their best because they are walking advertisements, it'll actually help increase your revenue every year. So another reason why scheduling is so important is you have more control of your schedule. We know that each client has an individual amount of time that they need for their appointments. So not all client service appointments are created equal, and by that, not all people take 45 minutes to an hour to foil. Some people take less, some people take more. So actually taking control of your schedule can allow and provide time to be used for other guests. So say you have someone who only takes 30 minutes, scheduling a whole hour for them is going to leave a 30-minute gap in your schedule. Having someone who takes an hour and 15 minutes when you only have an hour for their appointment is going to make you run behind. So having more control of our schedule is super, super crucial. And by taking control of our schedule and pre-booking our clients before they leave, we're not allowing them to book the wrong things online as well. So why is rescheduling so important? These are just some of the main points I put together on why I feel rescheduling is one of our most important success strategies behind the chair. Rescheduling keeps prime time available for clients who really need it, and it fills in the slow gaps. So what do I mean by this? So we know that we have times of the day and times of the week that are prime time. And by prime time, it means that they fill up really quickly. It's the time that people want the most, and it's the most available time that works for the average person's schedule. So by taking control of our schedules and rebooking our clients before they leave, or even rebooking compared to the front desk, we can fill in our slow gaps. All of us have different slow gaps. All of us have busy gaps. So how do we do this? An example of this is you are slow on Friday mornings. You know that your schedule rarely fills up on Friday mornings. If it does fill up, it's usually the last appointment times to fill up. It doesn't really work for a lot of clients. So when we are rebooking our clients, we offer these appointments first. So does Friday morning work for you? If it works for them, great. If it doesn't, then we move on to like middle prime time. And then if that doesn't work, then we move on to regular prime time. So it allows us to fill in our slow gaps before the prime time gaps get too full, and it just kind of fills in our schedule. Less schedule mess ups. Sometimes clients will book online for any slot that's open. They didn't rebook before they left and their hair is a hot mess, and at this point they just need to get in, and they need to get in now, and they don't care what they need to do to get into your schedule. So I've had a lot of times where this has happened, where someone will book online, say for like a partial highlight, and in the notes they'll put, I need a full highlight and a haircut. We all know that this doesn't work. So having to call the client and explain like I can't do those services is it's kind of more inconvenient conversation for them and for you. One, it's taking time away from things that are important, and two, no one wants to call a guest and tell them that they can't accommodate them. So making sure that we reschedule them before they leave keeps mess ups like this from happening. Rescheduling also helps plan for your month, and it also helps plan for your monthly budget. So when we have our clients pre-scheduled, you can take a look at your month and you can see what is going to happen for that month. You can have your client's favorite beverage ready. You can make a plan on what add-ons you're going to add to your month in order to enhance your guest experience or to hit your monthly goals. You can also take a look and figure out what your monthly income is going to be. Since we work on commission, we know that every single month fluctuates. So when you have a pre-planned schedule, this actually allows you to look at your budget, and you can say, okay, so this week I have a ton of highlights and a ton of super high-end services, and the next week I'm like all haircuts and low-end services. You know how to plan and budget for that month, and you need to make sure that you put money aside or don't need to put money aside or put money aside to save. So it really does help plan and pre-plan your future. Rescheduling clients helps them plan you into their budgets. So when I know I have an appointment coming up for my hair or say Botox, I put money aside because I know I have that appointment in my schedule. It's the same for our clients. If they know that they have an appointment with us, they're going to put money aside to spend on that appointment. If they don't have us in their schedule, it is more likely that they're going to push that appointment out 2 weeks because they have to set money aside for it. So when you are in their books and you're in their schedule, they can have the appropriate amount of time to actually budget for you. And also, when they have an appointment set aside to get their hair done, they're more likely to spend it on the hair when it's set aside than they are, like, for example, if they don't have an appointment on you and they want like a new pair of shoes or a purse, and they'll purchase those items and then say, oh, well, I'll set money aside the next 2 weeks for my hair. So when you actually set time aside, this is actually beneficial for your clients as well because they can plan for you in their budget. Rescheduling helps keep clients loyal, and it keeps the temptations of trying others from happening. So when we have time set aside in our schedule, clients are less likely to try a new location or to try a new salon. There's nothing worse than not being able to accommodate somebody, and clients nowadays live in a very fast-paced world. We live in a fast-paced world. They want things now. So if they can't get in your schedule and they can't get in when they want to, they're more likely to try another place. So Pre-booking our clients actually keeps the front desk less busy so they can focus on the guest experience. So when they're not at the phone or they're not rescheduling our clients for us, it actually allows them to focus and do other things to enhance the guest experience. Well, at least they should be. So by that, they can be taking your clients' coats, they can be grabbing them drinks, they can actually be talking to the guests about products, or they can actually be, actually having a good bonding conversation with them instead of trying to book somebody on the phone and then check them out while they're booking on the phone. It just makes for a better client experience. Keeping your books full and filled and keeping clients rescheduled helps for a financial future. So this keeps us busy. When we are pre-booking clients, it just sets us up for success. Scheduling service recommendations. So this is what I recommend for clients retouch or client rebook experiences. I recommend that gray retouches, they rebook in 4 weeks. These clients are our bread and butter clients. They need to come in, they need to get those grays covered, and they need to make sure that they're getting in every 4 weeks, 6 weeks at the latest, depending on the percentage of gray that they have. A dimensional highlight, I recommend 6 weeks. These are our girls that love to have dimension at the roots, that they love seeing those bright blonde highlights from the very, very top all the way down to the bottom. A shadow root or balayage, I recommend every 8 to 12 weeks, but within those 8 to 12 weeks, I recommend coming in for a 4-week toner refresh. At this time, we can use a toner to enhance the color that we've just done 4 weeks ago. We can also kind of cancel out any brassy tones. We can do a treatment at this time and a blowout. Maybe plan this for, say, like on the weekends, so they have fresh blown out hair for the weekend, for whatever it is that they have planned. And then for haircuts, I recommend short structured cuts every 4 to 6 weeks and long cuts every 8 to 12 weeks. Again, this varies from client to client and how fast their hair grows and what kind of look they're going for. So how can we successfully reschedule our guests? Sometimes difficult conversations can be hard to take care of or to take control of when it comes to being a newer stylist. We are so afraid to hear no from our clients. So having a plan and knowing what to say is so important in order to make sure that we are rescheduling successfully. So one way you can make sure that your clients are more likely to reschedule is to create a sense of urgency with the proper verbiage. So by creating a sense of urgency, we are letting our clients know that we only have limited time and we have a schedule and we're not at their beck and call 24/7. I think a lot of stylists, especially independent stylists, forget that we have personal lives and they're so willing to come in whenever the client wants, and that is just a good way for burnout. So making sure that we are setting a schedule and that we're rebooking will allow for a smoother experience, and using the proper verbiage is a great way to do that. Words like availability remind clients that our time is limited. We do have a set schedule, and most importantly, we have other guests. And I think sometimes clients forget that we have other people that are visiting us and are in our chairs, and we have to remind them that availability is limited. So you want to make sure that you're using words like availability, limited, prime time. These are all great verbiage words that show the client that we are in charge of our schedule and that we have limited time in order to make sure that they get the time that they want, that we are rescheduling. Using scripted verbiage can be awkward at first, but success comes with planning. I always recommend writing down verbiage, like definitely sentences that sound professional, and then practice every day with each client with this verbiage. Just like at one point we were like so awkward with hair, and when we first got on the floor, it just felt so unnormal, and now it's like second nature. It's the same way with your words. You want to make sure that you're using professional verbiage and that you have things scripted out so you are prepared, because it's the little things that we do every day, the very, very tiny things that lead to a successful, big, successful future. Being confident and secure in your words and in your voice. This is so important. Our clients always follow our lead. So you want to make sure that you are being confident. You don't want to walk up to your client and be like, well, I think we should reschedule for your next appointment. Do you have time? That is not a great way to reschedule your guest. A really good way to reschedule your guest is being confident. With this look that we did today, I'm going to need to see you back in 4 weeks for a toner and a treatment. I want to make sure I'm keeping your hair healthy and in its best possible condition. And in order to do that, I need to reschedule you for 4 weeks today. I want to make sure I have time set aside for you. So being confident and secure and making sure that they know in order for their hair to look its best, they need to come and see you in X amount of weeks. That is super, super, super important. By pre-planning, we are there for them for all their appointment events and using their schedule as a plan. So whenever I have clients that come in that are coming to me on a regular basis, I want to make sure I know what is going on with them for the year. Do they have any weddings coming up that they need formal hairstyled for? Do they have any weddings that they need color done for? Are they graduating? Are they going to a graduation party? Are they attending a wedding? Are they in a wedding? Are they going to any balls or galas? So making sure that we're actually having them pull out their schedule for the year so we can set time aside for those special events. We know that those people are going to need their hair done at those times. So making sure that we have time set aside for them will ensure that they're not going to someone else for those needs. So this is super, super crucial. So I recommend doing this every January, kind of sitting down with your regulars and being like, hey, what do you have going on this year? I want to make sure that I can accommodate you and make sure that you are looking beautiful and your best for your events. Let's take a look at your schedule today and let's set some time aside for anything that you may need in the future. And then that's like setting your whole year up. There's nothing better than looking at your schedule and seeing that you are booked 8 weeks out, 4 months out, even if it's just a few appointments. It is such a great feeling when you have a full schedule. Reminding them that you are there for them and you want to make sure that you always have time for them and that you are there when they need you. So by doing that, you want to say, I want to make sure that I am here for you when you need me. Let's set some time aside today for your next appointment so I make sure that your hair is looking its best. We want to make sure that we are planting seeds as soon as the guest experience starts. So this is going to go most importantly for my newbies, for my girls that are behind the chair, that are either just starting out, that are in their first year, in their first 2 years. They're not exactly sure how to fill their books. They're not exactly sure how to start rescheduling clients. So it's going to start in the very beginning of the guest experience. So as soon as the client walks in the door and as soon as you start having your conversation, you want to start with this verbiage. Have you had any difficulties or issues when trying to get into my schedule? So this is the question you're going to want to ask them. And these are the answers you want to prompt with. So if you're a new stylist and you are trying to fill your schedule and you're like, I need to start pre-booking my clients. I want to create a sense of urgency. I want to make sure that this client reschedules before they leave. You're going to want to follow with, and this may not be 100% true, but the only way we're going to start filling our schedule is if we start letting clients know that you are going to be busy. Many of my guests have been experiencing difficulty. I want to make sure I'm here for you when you need me, so let's plan on setting time aside for your next visit. So we're making sure that the client knows, like, hey, my schedule's starting to fill up. I want to have time for you. Let's make sure we set some time aside. If your client says, yes, I have been having so much trouble getting in with you, I had to wait 2 weeks for this appointment, you want to say, I am so sorry that this may have caused stress or a sense of urgency for you. So always apologize, because clients don't want to not be able to get in with you. They want to make sure you're there when they need you. This is, like I said before, this is a fast-paced environment. You want to make sure that you can accommodate your clients. So you want to apologize, and then you want to respond with, to make sure I can accommodate you when you need me, let's set some time aside today. I always recommend booking your client's next appointment during the processing time. This is a great time. If you don't double book, this is a great time to set time aside for them. You can actually take time to look. You're not waiting for, you're not having a guest waiting for you like up front after their appointment is over, and you have time to sit down and actually look at the schedule and book everything properly. I recommend, if you're a new stylist, not double booking until you've actually kind of gotten a system going. So pre-booking during processing time is great. And some verbiage you can use for that is, based on what we did today, I recommend reschedule to see you back in X amount of weeks. You guys have to remember, this is best for your guest. This will help you build lifelong relationships. There's nothing more important than having time set aside for our guests so that they actually have the best experience possible. We don't want to squeeze guests in, because even if the guests know that they're getting squeezed in, they're still going to expect top-notch experience. So you want to make sure that you are not squeezing guests in, and this is going to create lifelong relationships with your clients. You guys also have to remember, there's so much temptation out there. So if you are skipping on any sort of guest experience, clients are more likely to try someone else. So making sure that you have the proper time set aside for each and every one of your people is so crucial. So pre-booking is the only way to actually make sure that that is possible. And then we can really be there for when our clients need us. Our clients need us for those important events in their lives, and the only way we can make sure that we are there 100% is when we pre-book their appointments and we reschedule them. So if you liked this video and the content that we created for you today, make sure that you follow us on all of our social media. And if you want to get more videos like this and you want to see what we're up to and our education, join our email list. It's Boss Babe Opt-in. This will kind of add you to our email list, and we'll send out our different education things that we have going on and events. We always do some live events via Facebook. So I hope to hear from you guys soon. Make sure that you check us out on Instagram at Opulent Beauty Salon, at Hair Society Academy, and follow me at Patricia Ann Artistry. Thanks for watching.